know what you're going to say. You sang
Brad
the
Paisley
national
sang
anthem
the
at both of
national
them.
anthem at both of them.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
So if I
And
was
by
a
the way,
baseball,
what was the date of the first one? I
well,
think it
that
was
I
the
don't
same
know.
date. I think it
Oh,
was
was it?
October, whatever, 27th. So that's
It
what
could
I
have
was
been.
at the doctor's office yesterday, and all of a sudden some guy comes over to me, somebody I don't know, and just said, "Did you watch that game last night?" And they're just at the whole waiting room, like 10 people started talking about the room of
Right.
the game, and one person pointed that out. I wonder if that's true.
If I was
Yeah,
running a
Brad
baseball
Paisley and the
team,
same date.
he'd be
What was his name? What was his name?
Brad
Brad
Paisley,
Paisley.
Oh, yeah.
country guy.
Oh, Brad Paisley. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. If I was running a pro baseball team, an MLB team, he'd be banned from any World Series game. No way, and never again.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Uh,
it's
funny.
evidently, I guess Clear did the pre-show because they did a post. The sound image team out of LA did it.
Well, ATK team, basically, right?
Yeah. Well, no, they had. Well, I don't know. I haven't
I
seen.
saw a post from Local 695 post
you can't
also.
tell anymore. These shows come in, and I'm like, they're on the dock. Watch. I do loader a lot too, just because that way I can fill a little extra money in. And you'll see ATK, you'll see everybody's cases. Eighth Day, Sound Image, Claire. You can't even
Yes.
tell who's what, when, where, why, or how anymore. Just sound gear in that truck.
Yeah.
Every company's name on it known to man. Every once in a while, I'll see a DB case,
Yeah.
motor box or something, you know, and with all the Claire stuff.
That's probably because Claire owns everything now.
Exactly. You can't look at the box anymore. You used to be able to go, oh, cohesion, oh,
Yeah.
DB, and know where it was coming from. That doesn't tell you anything anymore.
No.
Well, on the reverse side, though, if it's cohesion, that's only coming from Claire.
Well, yeah, right, but there is no Claire's,
But
you know.
but there is no single system that
Well,
is
here's
Claire.
here's the thing. Here's the thing I know because the guy's a systems engineer for Laney Wilson, right? So that's an eighth day account. And when it started, they liked the guy and he got trained on D&B and all this. Well, when video started sucking all the budget, they wanted to cut the budget and use a lesser box. They're using cohesion boxes. And it's an eighth day account. But they're all
Well,
the
of
same
course,
because
of course.
Claire owns eighth day.
Yeah.
They
It's
all
the
kind of
same.
run
It's a Claire
independently,
account.
but not
Yeah,
really.
but
Yeah.
They share
exactly.
resources.
Yeah. So, I imagine somebody's sending a check to eighth day, which is a division of, I don't know how that
Yeah.
works. Kick
That's
me.
so
Yeah.
great.
My
So great.
scorecard ran out of squares.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if they're doing Chris Brown's tour because it just, I don't, Chris Brown, I was just reading in Polestar that his tour grossed $285 million and he's leading, and he's not even leading the pack of the kind of money that's being generated right now. Lady Gaga is number one, Billie Eilish is number three, Kendrick Lamar number four, Dua Lipa number five, Karol G number six. Let's see, Kate McGray. I hear she's got a new album out. It's pretty cool. Katy Perry number seven, Maroon 5 number nine, and well, I missed the number there. Doesn't matter. And
So,
Alex Warren number 10 on the top 10 list of people
so
generating a lot of money. So now, Robert, in these venues that are not having these superstars play, what kind of attendance are you seeing?
Good. Very good.
what do you have any idea what the tickets cost? Because the tickets for Rush, for example, are ridiculously
Ridiculous.
expensive.
Well, for what it's worth, I bought 4 tickets on the City Card pre-sale for counting all the fees for $198 a piece.
Wow.
Wait. For Rush, huh?
Rush at Little
Wow.
Caesars.
So why is
Opposite-
it so different than Rush in LA?
I
I
couldn't
mean,
tell
they
you.
had $500 of fees alone per ticket.
Was this secondary market? Yes.
I don't know.
No.
Christopher was telling us this last week, or somebody was telling it. Wasn't it
No,
on here?
no,
Well, it
Fred.
got out of hand. I know
Oh,
that.
Fred, that's what it was. Fred, yeah.
I also know I had to jump through a lot of hoops of confirming that I was me.
Yeah.
Well, that's a
It
good
was
thing that you had to
Ticketmaster though.
confirm that
Ticketmaster though, right?
that it's you.
3 times I had to put in different codes. All the way to the last one was before Citi would release the money and let it be charged to my account. I had to do it to them.
Yeah.
But it was
Tomorrow's the
Ticketmaster,
public on
right?
sale for all the rest of those dates, so we'll see what happens. I'm hoping
Yeah,
they
they
sell
released the
gangbusters,
campus
but
show on
my
Monday.
intention is to only keep 2 of them and sell 2 of them. So
Hopefully, the two that you keep will be paid for by the 2 that you sell, right?
that's
Isn't
the
that the goal?
hope. Or I'll sell them to whoever, but you'll see. The thing's not for 8 months. It's in August, Little Caesars in Detroit.
Well,
Well, I got a feeling they're
anyway,
going to
yeah,
show
I
up
mean,
on
it's
Jan's list.
expensive. Kenny, you just saw not Barry, you just saw Paul McCartney. What was that like? And tell us about that.
Well, you mean the ticket price or the concert?
Everything. Tell us a little bit about it.
The concert was technically amazing because we were in a stadium, but it felt like we were in a large arena. You know what I mean? Sort of. It didn't feel like I have been to stadium shows and I was totally turned off to stadium shows and I was like, "Oh my God, is this going to be another stadium show?" And it was didn't feel like that at all. It felt like we were just in a large arena. I was about, halfway back. I was even with the mixed position and it was fantastic. I mean, the sound was great and the sound was not it wasn't too reverby or whatever you call it. It was very in your face and it sounded perfect and the lights and everything was exciting. It was just great. And oh, and the best part about it I think was the video walls were ginormous and very high quality, very high res, so it just looked fantastic.
And this was at the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, right?
Right, that's where it was, yeah. And that's a
That,
stadium with a roof and climate controlled, so it was just perfect. I can't complain at all.
that's a tough sounding stadium, though.
In what way? Because that's
Not
what
really.
I talked to what's his name, the mixer before the show, and I said, "How's it going to sound in here? Is this good sounding place?" He said, "Well, it's got a bit of a long reverb time, but it's not bad." Uh, Pablo, right?
Well,
Paul Bruthrud.
yeah.
Right, right. Anyway, and it was true. It was great, and they had delay towers up. I mean, and I wouldn't have wanted to have sat any further away than I sat because in a stadium, I could have sat 200 feet further away than where I sat, and that I'm sure. And then the people on stage would be minuscule, and you're really relying on the video then. But the audio would have been good, I bet. But the audio clusters would also be blocking your direct view of the stage, so that wouldn't be amazing. But anyway, overall, it was just a great, great event.
He's a
And
good
what about the
engineer.
attendance, Kenny? What about the
It was
attendance?
jammed. It was pretty well jammed, although there were a couple seats right next to us that were empty. But I think it was pretty well sold out, though.
So now, as far as the expenses go, in regards to what did it end up costing you?
I couldn't look at the prices. I just said I have to see Paul McCartney before he stops performing. So I don't remember what it was, to be honest with you. It was expensive.
Yeah, because I'm hearing a lot of people complain right now about how costly it is to go to a concert compared to,
I should
what
I
it
should
used to
say
be.
I should qualify. It wasn't the kind of expensive that Fred was talking about last week. It wasn't over $1,000 a ticket.
Yeah.
It was maybe in that range, though.
Yeah. I mean, music is generating a lot of money. I mean, Bad Bunny right now, I mean, I can't even believe what he's generating, and he's hardly even playing right now. But Latin American music just generated in the last, the first half of 2025, it's generated over $490 million of ticket sales.
Well, based on those Rush ticket prices, that's not hard to do. Remember when we did the calculation?
Well,
Somebody said
Mhm.
you take 10,000 seats at whatever the price was, and then you multiply it. It's very quickly lots and lots of
a lot of
millions.
that Rush stuff is secondary market numbers.
But I
Because
think
they
Fred
put
was
on,
talking about Ticketmaster.
yeah,
Yeah, he was
well,
talking about Ticketmaster.
you can still go through Ticketmaster on secondary market. You just put like my tickets. I just get on my Ticketmaster account and put them up for sale, and Ticketmaster resells them, and I make the money. They charge me a little fee, but not
Right.
much. I did it
Well, they
before
charge
with,
you a fee and they charge the buyer a fee.
well,
Of
they have to
course.
pay their,
Ticketmaster, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Ticketmaster is like Spotify. They should be, you know, somebody should whip them into shape, you know? They're just
Well,
making too much
that
money.
reminds me, Kenny, just reminds me that to introduce everybody, hey, welcome to Thinking Out Loud with Friends of SoundBroker. It's 283 this right now, and everything you hear today is an opinion, so do your own research. Okay, now go on.
Oh, yeah, and my opinion is that Spotify and Ticketmaster are making a lot of profit. I mean, who knows? I'm just basing that on total, hearsay. But it sounds like they're making boatloads of profit, and then the artists that are involved in their product are not making anywhere near the kind of profit they're the main companies are taking in.
Unless
Seems
they're
very
ginormous.
one-sided.
Yeah.
Taylor
Well,
Swift would be the exception.
well, yeah, but Taylor Swift is the exception to everything right now. But the reality is most of these artists are making their money off of sales at the concert of merchandise, and I don't even know. I haven't been to a concert in a while where they were selling stuff in the lobby because here in Thailand they don't do that kind of stuff. But I'm assuming that in the United States that they're selling CDs as well. I don't know who has CDs
Oh
anymore.
yeah.
Not CDs so much as just the shirts and things like that.
T-shirts and
Yeah,
sweatshirts
right.
and, you know,
I mean, the merch display at the Paul McCartney concert was ginormous, and it had a line that was very long but went very quickly. And I don't think they had multiple merch displays. I think it's just one display was on the floor, and I felt like that was the only one or something. And then they stopped selling merch during the show, and they were supposed to start up after, but maybe they didn't start up afterwards. But that's where I hear they take in a lot of money,
Yeah.
tons of
millions of
money.
dollars.
Yeah. Yeah. They had almost every show that comes through Raymond James Stadium, there's at least 4 trucks just for merch.
Oh, wow.
That's
No
all it
kidding.
is. Yep.
How many?
Wow.
Four
Four
semis
That's in
semis.
a
or box
stadium,
trucks?
stadium show.
Yeah. Stadium show.
Semis.
Wow. And so,
There's a
how
whole
about that?
semi at Van Andel where I saw you, Ken. That's only 12,800 seats.
And they got a
They
semi
have a
full of
whole
merch?
semi full of
Because
merch.
I know that the Manilow show did not have a semi full of merch.
No,
But
no, but I
speaking
mean
of,
these pop shows and these rock shows and Fish, and,
interesting.
all those
But
kind of,
Yeah.
but speaking of Manilow, he's doing a tour of UK, like what is it, 8 shows or something in next June, and he's already sold out some of those shows in arenas. Isn't that amazing?
Well,
I
you're
heard you're
sold
gonna be
out in
in Florida
Tampa.
in January.
Yeah, that's right. We are going to be in Florida in January. Yep, yep.
Somebody called me and said something about something. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I think he might be
Yeah.
coming out on it or something. I don't know. Is some
Well,
carpenter.
like you wanted to see Kenny, like you wanted to see Paul before he stopped touring. I guess everybody's thinking the same thing about Manilow right now. I mean, his catalog is
Exactly,
pretty
exactly.
amazing.
Well, that I think that you're right. If you were ever a Manilow fan, you're trying to get your last licks in, so to speak. You're trying to see him before he stops
I didn't,
performing.
yeah, I didn't see the show. I came down to see Ken in the morning. I was
Right.
leaving for Europe the next day and had
Uh,
way more to do than stay over for a show that night.
Yeah, of course, especially a Barry Manilow show. Come on.
Right, right. But I did say I got to come down to see Ken in the
Yeah,
morning.
it was nice. It was very nice. Yeah.
We hung out for
Yeah.
a
But
couple
you
hours.
would be
But
surprised.
that just really amazed me that he's already sold out in some arenas in the UK. I mean, especially considering that he did his final UK shows in 2024. Final, absolutely last shows in 2024 because we did like almost a month at the Palladium in London, and that was it. We're done. Okay, this is the last time we're going to the UK. And then he changes his mind, and he's got a bunch of shows in the UK in June, and they're already sold out. Some of them. That just amazes me.
he must have talked to Gene Simmons.
Yeah. A guy like Manilow, a guy like Paul McCartney, Mick Jagger, these kind of guys, they go on stage and the emulation and the adulation that they get from the audience and all of the applause and all the recognition that they get, the rush has got to be so amazing that it must be impossible for them to give that up.
It's addictive. That's what it is.
I
It's like
personally
Ken
think
was
that
saying earlier,
They
he
all
still yearns for that, trying to get that one night, you
yeah,
know? And
exactly.
they all
they
I,
all
do.
grew up on the stage. That's where they
right.
lived on stage, right?
I personally think that Barry Manilow himself gets like protein or a life, life
Like
enhancing whatever it is,
It's a
from that
lifeline. It's a
audience response.
lifeline.
In
energy
other words,
force.
another energy. Yeah, he gets the energy from the audience because he can be so out of whack, out of breath and everything before the show, and then he gets out there and boom, he turns into like boom, Mr. Superstar, trying to show him everything he's got. It's just crazy how he does that.
Well, the energy that comes back from the audience to the stage is enormous.
Yeah, it reminds me of my first time I was up on stage. Tell you a quick story. So I'm working for the Doobie Brothers for a week because the sound company I worked for had a console that they wanted to use because their console died. Anyway, so I was out with the Doobie Brothers for a week, and they had their own sound system. It was like the Doobie Brothers owned the sound system. It was 1974, and it was I forget, Stevenson interface consoles and Sherwin Vega speakers, I think, or something like that. Anyway, their console died, so they brought in both my console, the company I worked for, and some other console from I think Santana or something, right? And they were using the Santana console this one show, and it was like they had the opening act was the Ozark Mountain Daredevils, and the Ozark Mountain Daredevils came on and they did a very short set because the sound was so horrendous. And I remember like it was yesterday, one of the musicians in the band came off stage and he says to me as he's going off, "Sounds like sandpaper out there." I was like, "Oh, what is that?" "Oh yeah, sandpaper. That's a good way of describing that it's all distorted because it was like a lack of headroom." So I said, "Hey," I spoke to the front of house guy on the intercom or however we spoke back then, and I said, "I have a Altec 9860. It has about 20 dB of really clean headroom, so I can give you 20 dB of gain, and you'll just turn everything down." And you'll feed the PA just as loud. He was like, "Oh yeah, let's do that." So I go inside the console that we had there, and I dig out the 9860 and I patch it into the feed from the board to the PA. It's just a single XLR feeding the entire PA, right? And I turn it up and then I go out to the stage to check it and I go check, and my voice was so much louder than the opening act had band that the place went nuts. And so I was like, I was sold because all I did was say check and they applauded like crazy. It was great.
Well, you had a new career, but you didn't take it. You could have been the guy that comes out to test the microphones in front of the audience.
Right. Anyway, but it's such a rush, is my point, though. It's such a rush, man. Holy shit.
Yeah. Hey, well, I'm happy that you're here today because I know that you've been following the World Series, right? And isn't today like game 4, I think?
Yeah, it's the last game in LA. I have it on right now. It's
Oh,
Right.
have they started to play?
Yep. Blue
I
Jays
gotta
are
go.
ahead 2-0.
Oh my God, already? What
Yep.
inning is it?
I'll tell you in a second. They're
Middle of the first.
Wow, and they're
Okay.
already got 2 runs on them, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
good
you
for
don't
them.
have a
Well, I'm gonna
TV
have to
right
leave
by
in a
you
few
where you can
minutes.
watch that, hey, Kenny?
No, I
Do
don't.
both, two
I'm not
things at
that
one
into it.
time?
See,
Good, but I don't.
Dunedin's crazy. It's the my little town of Dunedin here where I live and have lived for the past 20 years. It's the winter winter home of the Toronto Blue Jays. So it's nuts here. It's absolutely nuts here.
Two
So
one,
lots of people cheering for the Blue Jays, huh, in your
Yeah.
neck of the woods.
two solo home runs.
Wow, how about that? And who's the pitcher from the
Let me
Dodgers
look.
that got
Hold on.
Well, you know it's not Otani, right? I mean, this guy is
yeah, he
amazing.
pitched
got
yesterday.
I don't even
bombed
follow
last
He wasn't
baseball at all, and
he
I know
wasn't
this
so
guy's
Wasn't
amazing.
name.
so amazing last night. He was the
No,
Yeah,
he
exactly.
wasn't.
He wasn't. Well, you know why? Of course, he just worked. I
Wait.
mean, he was a runner, a designated hitter for the 18 inning game the night before.
They
Yeah.
walked them 4 times. They wouldn't even pitch.
Yeah.
They were smarter than
Didn't he
that.
hit a home run yesterday too, as well? Or no?
No. Not yesterday, no. It was
I mean, hey, you know,
it was the
I'll have to
first
go watch it soon.
it was the
it's like, hey, what have you done for me today, man? That's it. What have you done? Yesterday you hit 3 home runs and you pitched a perfect game.
You know what his
Screw that
contract is?
shit.
Snell is the
10
pitcher
years,
for the
10
Dodgers.
years, seven. Oh, yeah, he's supposed to be really good. 10 years, $700 million for that Otani guy.
Yeah. Well,
And the
he's worth it.
Dodgers,
I mean, he's
the,
like,
the things that he does, it's amazing. He's like
yeah,
another Babe Ruth, you know?
yeah.
But he was with the Angels for a couple of years before he was with the Dodgers.
Ah, well, I tell
Well,
you,
he's coming into his own right now because I couldn't have told you who he was, except I heard that his butler or his chauffeur or something like that had embezzled a bunch of money
no,
from
that
him.
was his translator.
Oh, it was his translator, right?
That was
Yeah.
back when he was on the Angels.
Yeah.
You know, other than that, I had never heard of the guy, and now everybody's talking about him. And I'm sure because he's Japanese, and Japanese is a big market for baseball, and and not only that, he's must be selling. Going back to merch, I'm sure everybody, you watch the crowd, and everybody seems to be watching his shirt on on their bodies.
So he's got a Nike endorsement, right? He
Yeah.
can't speak English, and he's got a commercial that's on, and he doesn't say a word.
Yeah.
He can't even say just do it.
Doesn't say a word.
He doesn't
He's
speak
kind of
English?
bat-like dancing in front of the screen.
Yeah, wow. So he doesn't speak English at all? Are you sure?
Well, he probably does by now a little bit, but not
Right.
anywhere near enough to do a commercial.
Right.
He still has a translator next to him all the time.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, every time they interview him, they use a
I
translator.
imagine
but
that,
I was like,
in the clubhouse, he speaks English with his
Yeah.
close buddies, players, close circle, but not publicly.
he's such a freak of nature, man.
Oh,
He's
he's the best
so unique.
ever that ever played the game by far.
So
How
the
tall is
sponsor
he?
couldn't
Does
afford to
anybody know
pay
how
him to
tall he
speak,
is?
huh?
Here, hold on, I'll tell you. I got a thing in my hand here. I can look him up.
I'm sorry, what was that, Marty?
I said that the sponsor couldn't afford the extra to pay him to speak.
All right.
Well, wouldn't that
They
be?
they just didn't.
That's a great endorsement gig. I mean, really, you get all this money and you don't speak. It's like doing an arena show and you hit one button and it's all automated.
He doesn't need
You're-
to speak. Everybody knows who he is
Yeah.
by looking at him. So he's 6'3", 210 on his bio.
Holy hell, that's pretty big for a baseball player.
And he's how old? He's like 31 or something, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's not the
July
youngest either.
5th is his birthday. He turned 31 July 5th.
And so
Yeah, he
signed
must
that
be
contract
super
a couple
strong.
of years ago.
And he debuted in the MLB in 2018.
Wow.
I read somewhere that one of the hardest things to do in all professional sports is to hit a baseball because of the velocity of that ball coming down the pipe, and it's so small.
And
Not
these
to mention, you don't know which way it's going,
these guys, it's weird. That you'll hear them say, "I slow the game down."
Yeah.
The way the ball comes, they can see the rotation of the
Yeah.
Well,
The scene.
and they
Yeah.
know if it's a curveball or a fastball. You'd just be scared to death of getting hit by it. Me,
Yeah.
maybe,
Absolutely.
It's
I've been in the batting cage and I'm scared of it,
Yeah.
when you
Hitting
start going too fast.
hitting a curveball is supposedly the hardest thing in pro sports, to hit a curveball.
That's
That's
coming
pretty
at
amazing.
you. At
You gotta
90 plus
coordinate
miles an hour.
that piece of wood that you're holding onto with that thing that's moving very quickly.
Hand-eye coordination, just at next level. It's a
Yeah.
gift.
I can't imagine being able to see the way that the seams are turning when it's coming at you at 95 miles an hour.
But every one of them will tell you they can.
Yeah.
They're sitting on, when you hear them say, and I was sitting on a fastball, they're just waiting to see what way the ball's coming out of his hand. And they somehow do it.
You know what amazes me the most is the announcers on TV can tell you what kind of pitch they just threw.
Yeah.
That was a curveball. I can't tell anything.
I got a question for you. Speaking of that, in the old days, the catcher would, put his fingers down for whatever pitch he wanted. And these days, what do?
They tell them.
How?
They have a little thing about this big, that big. It's in their hat, right over their ear. And if it fails, they can get the umpire's attention. And, it's like quarterbacks hearing from the coach. Same
They do.
technology.
Same thing is happening, really?
Yep.
Wait
So
a
it's a
second. Wait a
little
second.
transmitter
In other
type
words,
thing.
the pitcher's got an earplug in, so
It's
he
in
could
Not
his
an
hear what
earplug.
the
hat.
catch.
It's in his hat,
Yeah.
so he can hear it. It's right above his ear speaker.
Right, so bone conduction.
No, I think it's
Well,
actually a speaker.
and how's the catcher
He's
talking?
got
He
a
has some
little
kind of
mic in
microphone
his freaking right in his
in his mask.
mask.
Mhm.
Wow.
It
Yeah,
Must
I
be
was
it
watching
Well,
the
must be a
game.
really secure connection.
it was to get rid of the well, you would never be able
Sign
to
stealing.
relay it to the
Yeah.
pitcher, to the batter fast enough to make a difference.
Oh, but
They're
the
stealing
coach, if the
signs.
coach, yeah, the coach, the third base coach sees the sign and and then says something to the batter as it's happening. That's helpful.
Well,
But
they
these
used to,
days, how do they encrypt?
Houston Astros got in all kinds of trouble doing that. They
Yeah.
had somebody out in center field with binoculars stealing signs, and they were doing shit like hitting the garbage can 3 times. I
Oh,
don't know.
Baseball
well,
is a very complicated sport, super
Well,
complicated.
and now with all
There's
this,
so many rules to baseball.
well, and now
well,
you're
on that
adding,
note, I have got to get going. But great seeing you all,
yeah,
and
good
I'll
seeing you,
see you
Ken.
maybe next
Hey,
week. Maybe.
before
Have a
you go,
great
Kenny,
weekend.
I really want to say I am sorry that you did not get nominated for the Parnelli this year. I was going to vote for you if you were there, and I did put you up for the nomination.
Yeah, I think about 30 people probably nominated us, but I think you need the popularity. It's a popularity contest. If the
Yeah.
people running that contest don't know your name, it doesn't matter how many people nominate you, you're still not going to get nominated. I'm convinced of that because last year it was over 200 people did it, and it was like they had to at least notice, but nope, didn't get nominated. So anyway,
Well,
thanks for doing
hopefully
the
Kurt
nomination.
gets
Oh yeah, he'll
some
win. He'll
recognition
win.
this year.
Yeah.
Who?
Well, he's on the list.
Kurt
His
here.
company's on the list.
Oh,
His company's on the list, so he should win, right? Because
Yeah.
he's great.
Well, I
All
picked
right.
him.
Au revoir.
I voted for him. I will tell you.
Have a good week, Ken.
But Kenny, what I'm going to do for you next time is
he's
I'm going
gone.
to advertise for you.
He's
So there
gone.
you go. Oh, well, that's the way life goes. Anyway, so what else is going on with you guys? So we talked about the Parnelli. What Kurt comes in here. They were talking about something in the hat for the baseball players. I just read that a company has cured blindness with a bionic chip. And they just implanted it into somebody's head, and now they can act. Was it blindness cured? The electronic implant restores sight to patients with age-related conditions. And a friend of mine has that, and I sent him the link.
Age-related conditions.
Yeah,
Getting old.
yeah, and now they could read, recognize faces, and they can actually communicate with their computer, which is pretty amazing when you think about it.
Yeah, it is.
Well, that's how they're seeing the seams of the ball. You see, they got one of those.
Yep, that's probably how they're doing it. That's probably how they're doing it. I was thinking we'd do an AI segment, but before we did that, I wanted to talk about this Atlas 3i that's coming so close to Earth. And there's so much talk about that right now of whether well, and I don't think anybody disagrees that it's interstellar. It's not from our universe. Is anybody following this?
I haven't
No,
heard
you
about it.
mentioned it last week, yeah, but I haven't been following it. There's too many launches going off in Florida here. I'm trying to follow those because I can see them up, walk out in the backyard.
Well, it's different than any other comet that they've ever experienced. And one scientist believes that it's changed course, which absolutely would mean that it's not a comet. But every other scientist is saying this guy's on glue and he doesn't know what he's talking about.
According to the AI Google search, right now it's behind the sun and invisible from Earth. Currently.
Yeah, but it'll come back around. I guess it's going to go
Yeah.
past Mars.
Heavy reaches.
Might be visible from one of the satellite
James
telescopes.
Webb's or something like that. But
Well, it's on the other side of the sun right now.
okay. Well, then
So maybe from the space station I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what it says here. Let me read the whole thing. It's expected to become visible again, eastern pre-dawn sky. Oh, around November 11th, it should become visible again. The eastern pre-dawn sky. Visible only through telescopes.
And they haven't been able to identify it.
Well, they've identified it, but they
Three-eye atlas.
yeah.
Yeah.
It.
It
But
says, this thing I'm reading right now says, comet's closest approach to Earth will be December 19th, 2025.
Santa Claus.
Yeah.
But I guess, I don't know what they consider close to Earth.
Yeah. Well, close in
Yeah.
astronomical terms is a lot different than terrestrial close.
Right. It could be somewhere out by Saturn and they call that close.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
thinking about siestral, siest. Oh my God! Thinking about the stars in space.
Celestial, you
OpenAI
mean?
is now going to allow erotica on. You can create erotica. You can create your own erotica on ChatGPT, OpenAI. I mean, it was nice knowing all you guys. I'm sure you're never going to be seeing me again after this.
Did you see OpenAI's deal with Microsoft yesterday?
No, what about it?
It's a good revenue sharing.
Oh,
Oh,
So-
really?
Yeah. I didn't catch all of it because I watch the stock stuff closely all the time. Day trade stuff or something to do. But yeah, they've got some big thing going on with Microsoft's getting like 20% of their revenues or something.
well, they
They're getting closer
essentially
and closer to being in cahoots. Now it's weird because Microsoft's a publicly traded company and OpenAI is not.
right.
Well, they wanted
Yeah.
they're actually thinking about going public, And we were
Right, well,
talking
they
about
think
this
about
before
it.
we went online that Nvidia just went over $5 billion. I mean, value of $5 billion.
Yeah.
It's insane amount of money.
I wonder how that OpenAI deal with Microsoft leaves Apple because see, they got a deal too.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, yeah,
Apple
I
just
think
did something really cool. I just read it just before we went on the air that Apple is releasing something about their photos that will enhance will enhance Google's I believe it's Google's VO, and so that they will be and it's going to be they're going to give 400,000 different images that they're going to allow them to use, so it's going to make it more advantageous for people when they type in, when they vibe code, that they're going to get better images out, which right now it's very scary.
but this deal with Microsoft and Chat GPT didn't I seem to recall that when OpenAI was struggling, there was a big fight when they were turning into a commercial company. Microsoft invested a bunch of money in them because they were nonprofit for quite some time, and then they turned profit, and I believe Microsoft went ahead and gave them a chunk of money, and that's how OpenAI got into Microsoft products, and Microsoft changed it to be Microsoft, of course, and that's how, what is it, Copilot?
Copilot's really good. I like it, but I'm using Perplexity, which is kind of an aggregate of all of them. I downloaded the Atlas browser from ChatGPT but I didn't like it. I mean, it just seems to me that it's just not there yet. But
Yeah,
and it also
read a whole
scares me
bunch
that
of
I'd be
reviews
giving
on
them
it.
all my information and wherever I search.
Yeah,
I'm already
people
giving
were
it to
saying
Google.
it's a privacy minefield. If you're
Yeah.
concerned about your privacy, you give up a lot to use that browser.
You need to get rid of your
Yeah.
computer and your phone if you're concerned about your privacy.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
get my favorite app that I talk about every once in a while. So,
Cloak, baby. Let's cloak it out.
yeah.
you know. But
Hey,
one person, this woman named Tammy Carvey, she figured out how to use ChatGPT in a really good way. She just won the lottery on September 6th. She won $100,000 because she was able to figure out how to use this power play thing, and she put in ChatGPT numbers, blah blah blah, and she actually beat the system using ChatGPT. Unbelievable. So now I've got something that I want to accomplish.
So here's your answer. Microsoft and OpenAI announced on Tuesday that they'll have reached a new agreement that lets ChatGPT developer move forward with its plans to transform into a for-profit public benefit corporation. Under the new agreement, Microsoft will hold a 27% of OpenAI Group's PBC, which value. So they're going to become one.
yeah,
This is the short of it,
yeah.
or they're going to be in the same family. They won't necessarily be one, but
Well, it's kind of interesting because Apple is also using ChatGPT.
correct. That's why I said it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Right.
What's Apple going to do next?
You know,
There's still
so
these
we'll
other
see.
big players there, and you still have Alphabet, you still have Oracle. How's this all going to play out?
Yeah. Well,
And
I
these are
There's
still
so many
find that the
different AI
Google
engines out there
Gemini.
now.
Say that again, Marty.
There's so many different AI engines out there now, and so many different variants. And they're just there's a lot to choose from. If it's not ChatGPT, it'll be something else, and there'll be some
Right.
other mergers.
Yeah, there's a porn AI engine,
Yeah,
not a
Well,
video
the
one.
Chinese one works great.
Yeah,
You can use it here. That's weird. They're all worried about TikTok, but you can download what's the thing called? I can't remember now.
Oh yeah,
I'll
I
find
can't
it.
remember either.
I got two screens here so I can play search
Yeah.
game.
But the interesting thing is that I find still that Google, I still like the Google browser. I think I like Chrome the most of all the browsers that I use. It seems that there's more accessories to go with Chrome, and it makes my life so much easier. Plus, now they've integrated Gemini, which is their AI, and I just feel more comfortable with that than anything else.
Yeah,
Of
see, I'm
course,
a
I'm
Chrome
probably a
guy
fool.
myself.
hmm
Well, Alibaba, that's what I was trying to think of.
Uh, Alibaba. I thought that was I thought that was a the Chinese Amazon.
It's a Chinese AI platform. They got
yeah.
1, 2,
They're
3,
huge.
4.
They're huge.
How
They have all
you
sorts
know,
of stuff.
Well, there was the Chinese AI
DeepSeek,
platform that came out. What was
DeepSeek.
it last summer? That
Yeah,
was an instant hit. That was better than any American AI engine out there. I can't remember what it
yeah.
was
We heard
called.
about it for about a
DeepSeek.
month, and then
DeepSeek is the one you're trying to
Deep
think of.
Seek. That's it.
DeepSeek. Yeah, DeepSeek. That's the one.
And then yeah, I haven't heard a thing about it after that month.
Yeah,
Everybody
it
was
looks like
freaking out.
Deep Seek became Deep Six. That was
Yeah.
it.
Or it's
Well, it
only,
works.
it could be a big hit in China. We just don't know anything about it,
Yeah.
Well, it's
because
easier. It's easier for them to collect. You got to remember, AI is nothing but a collection of information and
yeah,
data, and the Chinese can collect that stuff in their sleep. That's what they
yeah,
do. That's
yeah.
the way they're. They don't have all the guardrails that we have.
Yeah.
What guardrails do we have? We have no guardrails. There's no
Well,
guardrails
we
on
have
AI.
guardrails. They're just so far out there, but they
Yeah.
have none. You know how it is. They just
Yeah.
everything that happens through this central government.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, actually, through the Communist Chinese Party.
That's
That's
what I
what it
mean.
is. It's the party. Yeah, not
That's what I
not
mean.
the government.
Yeah.
Which is it's a fine line. It's hard to describe. If you're not
Tell
familiar
the
with
two
it, it's hard
apart.
to
Right.
describe.
That's what I
You
meant.
know,
I misspoke.
but the interesting thing about, well, it's everything's an opinion here, so it doesn't matter. But I was reading this article in Forbes, and it says loneliness is a mounting crisis for the elderly. About 1/3 of U.S. adults between the ages of 50 and 80 feel isolated, according to the national study published by the American Medical Association. And social isolation is tied to increased risk of depression, anxiety, heart disease, and those kind of things. But now they're saying that more and more people are getting more involved with AI in that respect. And based on that, this is really frightening, but OpenAI disclosed Monday that more than 1 million ChatGPT users engage in conversations about suicide each week. And that, to me, is really scary. I mean,
Yeah.
really scary. You know?
It's not a therapist.
No.
No, but they
Yeah,
do have
there,
therapist sites, and I would be so afraid to sit down and talk to AI therapist and let them know my deepest thoughts, so that they one day they could turn around and use it against me. You know, hey, don't shut me off, or I'll tell the world about that experience you had in Thailand. Oh wait, whoa, 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 whoa!
well,
What did I
there's
know? I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. It looked real to me. I swear it looked like a woman. You know.
yeah, there's been some satire comedy stuff done on that. I saw. I happened to tune into a South Park episode, and it was all about how the it was a spoof on ChatGPT and how the answers were all okay. Well, that's a really good thing. Let me, all this business speak and helping him, helping one of the characters, uh, rescue his marijuana farm, and you know, and it was a whole spoof on AI, and it was pretty funny. It really was, and
Mhm.
it wasn't political. It was just it was all just they
Social
were the target
commentary.
of the day.
Yeah, you mentioned the marijuana farm. Are you guys watching Tulsa King? I mean, I am finding that is such a good show. I really like it.
Yeah, that's shot in Atlanta. A real good friend of mine, a Rabbit, is the production mixer for that.
It's
So
not Shelton, Tulsa?
nope,
That's shocking.
no,
That's shocking. Yeah,
no. It's
Sly
it's
Stone is really good. Sylvester Stallone is pretty good in it.
yeah, no. That's shot at Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta.
I mean, to think that guy is 79 years old.
Hmm
79. You
He,
know, I mean, he doesn't look a day over 78 to me, really, but,
yeah.
but he looks good. I mean, he looks good. Are you familiar with Dr. Robert Peter Attila? You guys familiar with him?
Mhm.
Now he just did something on 60 Minutes. This guy's a health nut doctor, and when
Oh,
I had prostate cancer, I was listening to him, and he's very knowledgeable guy, super knowledgeable guy, and he has really knowledgeable guests on his show. It's called The Drive, and it's hard to listen to because it's hours and hours, 2 hours, 3 hours a show, but he was interviewed on 60 Minutes, and he says that most people, and I'm paraphrasing, that after they hit 75, they fall off the cliff, of health. So I don't believe it because I'm 74 right now and I am in the prime of my health, I think.
so yeah, I saw that
It's great.
actually this past Sunday. I try to watch 60 Minutes because they have some good stuff, just out of the
Well,
blue stuff. So that and Sunday mornings. They had a really good thing about Kenny Chesney, and saw a Scoville cameo in on a Sunday morning. So
on
I'm gonna
60
give
Minutes?
no CBS Sunday morning.
CBS Sunday Morning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know who else
Yeah, I
is
just
all over
read that they're
that list?
canceling the CBS Saturday morning show after 30 years.
They're letting go a ton of people. Paramount.
yeah, yeah. Well, did
Well,
you also hear that?
everybody's letting so many people go. I mean, UPS just announced they're going to let 40,000 employees go. Who else? Amazon, 14,000 people. It's insane. I mean, but AI is doing that to people. The other thing is that you can't trust AI. You just can't trust it all because basically this AI travel planner was sending tourists to places that don't exist. I don't know if you heard about that.
Well, garbage in, garbage out. If
And,
you
and,
Yeah.
and
acknowledge
Amazon,
that
Amazon is letting go the very people who program the systems.
yeah, yeah.
So they
Well,
program
they just had
themselves
some
out of a
serious
job.
outages. They've never had outages before like they're having right now.
They
Hmm.
have one. It's the largest data center on the East Coast, and it turned out they were advertising bad BGP routes. That was what I read. Do your own research, of course, but
Yeah.
basically, uh, as far as the internet concerned, for a short period of time, that that data center didn't exist on the internet, and then they reprogrammed it, and then you had to wait for the rest of the internet to catch up with with the the changes. So
Well, it's amazing how many companies use AWS, which is what we're talking about, the
yeah,
Amazon data centers.
well,
It's
there's
just
only three of them.
mind blowing.
You know, there's Google, there's Microsoft, and there's AWS. Those are the three
What about
big
Apple?
clouds.
Isn't Apple building all these data centers too?
Oracle.
Yeah, yeah.
Oracle.
Well, yeah. Oracle too. Oracle's more closed though. Oracle is building data centers because they're hosting TikTok data.
They're a good company.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I just bought some of their bonds that's paying 4.9%, you know. I mean, because that's what happens when you go into semi-retirement. You spend more time looking at the stock market and figuring out what you want to buy, you know.
My Oracle
Um,
stock's up 400, some ridiculous amount since I bought it
yeah,
at the end of
yeah.
COVID.
So
I
they
bought TSM when it was like nothing, and now it's like I've made, I don't know, close to 20 grand. Well, I haven't sold all of it yet, but I sold half of it, and I'm up like about 20 grand on TSM, which is, you know, the Taiwan semiconductor manufacturer.
so is Oracle raising money so they can buy their headquarters in Nashville? They're buying the whole
yeah.
River North.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, they want to move out of they want to move out. You know, they have what's called Emerald City right there on the bay in San Francisco, and they want to move out of there like a lot of companies want to move out of California, but because they get better tax benefits elsewhere.
Hey, what's happening down there with Rock Nashville?
It's almost open.
They're moved last week into their facility, and they don't have occupant. They won't get occupancy in sound check until the second week of January. They're going to do some pre-move stuff and stuff, but they still got to do a lot. They still got a lot to do in there yet.
When is the grand opening party? That's what I want to know.
Well, it's supposed to be the second week of January, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Claire had a little open house. I think I'd have to look at the thing. They don't send me many invitations.
Oh, come on. I'm sure they're sending plenty
Not till they want to
invitations to you about, hey,
buy.
come on, join us, be part of the Meg, be part of the, you know, the Borg.
Resistance
It's
is
great to have an
futile.
independent company. So listen, we got two independent sound companies here. We've got Point Source. Kurt is here, and Kenny here from Spectrum. And I want to congratulate Kurt because he just walked into the room. And I want to say, hey man, I voted for you for hometown sound company of the decade there. And I
Thank
was
you.
surprised that Spectrum
Yep.
Sound is not competing against you. How is that possible, Kenny? How did you not get included in that
Well,
Parnelli Award thing?
Kurt, I believe you were a hometown hero, right? And you didn't make the final, right?
Last
No,
year,
I
I made
didn't
the
right?
make
final.
the final.
I made the final.
You made the final?
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm under a category of national tour, so I'm up against four Claires. And
Well, I would have voted for you, but I didn't see your name on the
I'm not in there.
list.
I didn't make it this year. I got a couple acts that are doing stuff, but not me.
hmm You know, Kurt, did you see that I posted? I posted that I voted for you. Did you see that?
I did. Thanks.
I hope that doesn't hurt you.
I don't think it will.
That's good. What are you working on?
Oh, I'm at this Washington Fairs and Events Association meeting, and we're doing audio for this drone show that's part of the opening ceremony thing right after this reception I'm about to go into.
Those drone shows are pretty amazing. How many drones do they lift up at the same time? Thousands, right?
Yeah, I don't know how many this is going to be. It's not as big as the ones we did in the summer. This is a different company, but it covers our admission, so all good.
And these are all controlled by AI, these drones, right?
I don't know if it's AI. I mean, it's just a program that they write into the control software that has them all fly.
Yeah.
Speaking of AI, I had a call the other day, and there was a sales call, and I believe it was AI because they were selling AI phone systems, AI phone answering.
Oh, wow.
You know, it's funny you should say that because one of the things I read that Yelp is now going to AI with their reservations and receptionists, and the host starts at $149 per month or $99 for the guest manager, which is amazingly inexpensive when you think of a company like Yelp using something like that. And then again, it's also a negative thing. There's this company called Andreessen Horowitz that I read about. They poured $1 million into this company called Double Speed, and this is where your the thing that you've been touting, Greg, Cloak will come into play because this Double Speed, it's a startup that runs a large phone farm to flood social media with AI generated posts. The company bills itself as a bulk content service that orchestrates thousands of accounts to mimic human interaction. And to me, that's disgusting. Absolutely
Yeah.
disgusting.
Didn't
A
they just
spam farm.
bust? Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't the FBI just bust a whole bunch of uh, uh, places around New York City that had hundreds of thousands of SIM cards in use,
hmm
and they were renting them out for other people to use. So you can use them for whatever. You can use them to go ahead and robocall all of New York City if you wanted, or you can use them for other things. They said gangs were using them. That's a way for them to talk to each other. Organized crime, and so. But yeah, and the other thing it could be used for is you can do a denial of service of the entire cellular system of New York City.
hmm
Nice.
Well, on a
Enterprising.
positive note, what did you guys think about my video email today? No, seriously, what did you think of it?
Oh, I didn't know it was a new thing because I don't see the old stuff.
Well, yeah, it was the first time you got it.
Yeah.
I
Got my
did it today.
attention. I'm
Yeah,
here.
yeah, it
Got my
worked. It worked.
attention.
Well,
No, I
a
saw
lot
it.
of people are busy.
I saw it and I went, shit, I keep saying I'm going to do this. And Wednesday nights are hockey nights a lot of the time, but not tonight. So they play
Well,
home
that's
games
good.
on
That's good.
Wednesdays a lot.
I
And if I
noticed it, but
might
I didn't watch the
compliment you,
video.
say that again.
I noticed it, but I didn't watch the video. I didn't get around to it.
It's okay. I mean, that's the kind of thing is that video is an interesting thing. You really have to be in the mood to watch video because if you're driving and you get a text message or you see a video, I'll watch it later. You just make it. You'll watch it later. But some people did watch it. But what I like about that is that finally I have the ability to know if people are getting my emails. And that is the benefit to me. Not that I'm so handsome and good looking and so creatively cosmetic, that where I'm happy to be doing these
Well,
videos,
it
but it gives
actually
me an opportunity to be there.
it actually got my attention because I got a boatload of crap sitting around here. Focusrite things. I mean, all kinds of junk that, from my touring days that is
Hmm.
of no use to me. And right now, my only option's eBay, really. So maybe
Well, you could, the
you're a
thing I'm
broker
doing
to,
right now.
the person thing that you were talking about in your video,
Yeah,
an option. I just got to figure out how it works and look into it further.
it's pretty simple. I
I
don't
didn't
want to work
delete the
anymore.
email. It's still there with a star to go back to. So there you go.
Yeah, you know what? I really don't feel like working as hard as I used to work anymore. I don't need to,
Well, I
but
knew that
I
just
don't
by
want to
looking at
give
your
it all
thing.
up. I like doing the big jobs. I don't like doing the little job. So basically, I'm saying, wow, we get 22,000 visitors a week to SoundBroker, and the only people that are coming are people interested in our industry.
Right.
So the reality is that why not make it a classified ad section? Just put people list it instead of me getting involved in the middle. It's a classified ad. You know, that's it
You can sell
for
anything
people
you
who are
want
just
on
looking
there.
for it.
Audio stuff.
We're selling it. It's very, very productive for those people that are using it. People are telling me they're getting more than. I mean, you only make one sale. It's $100 a year. You make one sale and you get your $100 back. And then you keep going and it lasts. It's a good
Right.
deal. It's a good deal.
I'm going to look into it.
That's all I can say.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know.
gonna look in there. Yeah, 'cause I got tons and tons of stuff that
Yeah.
I don't really need anymore. It's just taking up space, and somebody else could put it to use.
It's a better way
Yeah.
to do it. I mean, I look through it. I like the business model, Jan, in the sense, for the seller, in that because reverb's a pain, eBay is a huge pain, and there's so
eBay's
many.
easy. I do it
Huh?
all the time. eBay's easy. I do it all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
well, the
do.
difference between eBay and Reverb and all of these, there's no fees. It's $100 membership for the
Yeah,
year,
yeah,
and
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
else is
that's right.
free.
yeah.
Is
You're
that
not
how your
paying
And
thing
anybody.
works?
You're getting all the money yourself.
Is that how your thing works, Jan?
Yeah, that's exactly how it works.
See, I didn't read it yet. I just looked at the email and said I decided something I need to look into tomorrow.
yeah, and I've been doing renovations of like corporate AV systems, a lot of churches and stuff, and we're pulling out all this old gear, and I want to be able to give them some value for their old stuff, and that's a great way to sell some stuff off for them.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, you could, I mean, look, does eBay have a bigger reach than me? Absolutely they do, because they got TVs, they've got cars, they've got houses, they've got everything, but all we have is production equipment. So people who are coming to SoundBroker, and look, it's not just about if you're coming to SoundBroker. Basically, the AI engines are really, really kind to us because we've been doing this for 28 years. So we've got a track record. So AI picks that up. So when you do a search for anything that's on SoundBroker, it just pops up in your AI engine, your Google engine,
Right.
your AOL engine, and whatever it is you use. It's good.
AOL engine.
Yeah, people still use AOL. It
Yeah,
blows my mind that there are people that still have an AOL address. It's
I
they
was
don't
amazing.
want
trying to do something today and it was going to some AOL address and it was like, I was just waiting. Come
to.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I have a friend that I help out. She's had her AOL account for probably, well, since the early dial-up days. She's had her email address, and she just never. She said, "No, I'm not changing. I'm not changing my email address." And
Yeah.
and so she's got almost 30 or 40, 30 plus years. Well, maybe, yeah, 30 years on her email address.
You got to give AOL credit. I mean, nobody has a CompuServe address anymore, but they still have an AOL address. I mean, I still have Mr. Comedy at AOL, Shows for You at AOL, Jan Landy at AOL, but I don't use AOL that much anymore.
I used to have a CompuServe when I was trying to remember what it was until you said it. Know what that's
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I
One, two,
told
CompuServe
three,
I
started.
six,
had
nine,
one and
one,
I
two,
couldn't even
five,
remember
five.
what it was.
Yeah. CompuServe
Anyway,
was out
guys,
of
listen, we're
Columbus.
getting near the end. We're getting near the end where we're gonna go offline and really talk about the things that we want to talk about that we can't share with the general public. So before we do, is there anybody that has anything that they want to share with the listening public that might still be listening after an hour?
Otani struck out again. He grounded out in the first time up, and he just struck out. So,
He's human.
yep, that's right. That's right.
Hey, to quote Tom Hopkins, we're not judged by how many times we fail, but we're judged by how many times we fail, we get up, we keep doing it, and we succeed. That's how we're judged. So, hey, 3 home runs. We're still talking about his 3 home runs from like last week. So
Yeah,
he'll hit
3
another one.
homers
I
and
have
9
faith in him.
strikeouts. Thank God. That's impressive.
All right, guys, go watch the ball game now, and just remember, this is share the show, give us a thumbs up, tell your friends about it. We're always looking for new people on the panel. I want to thank everybody for coming today and sharing with us. This was our 283rd consecutive episode, and we'll be here back next week for 284. And remember, everything you heard today is opinion, so do your own research. And thanks for watching. And the last thing I'm going to say is you make it happen. Go out, have a great week, make it happen for yourself. And we are now going off the air.